Good afternoon, champions. So, welcome to our today's analysis. Today being a Friday. So, I hope you have had a successful week. I hope you are able to make profit out of the market. So, I'd like to officially welcome you to our today's session. So, on our today's session, I'd like to put your mind in this way that as I'll be analyzing the charts with you, it will be preparing your mind basically for the trades that you are going to take for next week, because as we all know that markets usually close during the weekend, so that you can come back on Monday when we are well prepared and well focused on the things that we need to trade, that is. So today we'll be analyzing US 30. I'll also talk something small about EURGBP, and then we are going to I'll be also be analyzing the I think Euro USD also to finish up the analysis. So let me just kickstart this analysis. Remember, the analysis that I usually do, these are practical trades that I currently have. I just like giving out my own view of how the markets look like. So if you are watching this on YouTube, do support this channel and please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you will get updates. And I usually do 3 days analysis every week. That is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So be sure that you will be able to be updated on what happens in the market. And also next week I'll be dropping. So for next week, I'll be dropping a video that I'll be discussing about pips, lot sizes, and also leverage, and I'll be explaining on how they can help you to be a profitable trader. So let us just start our today's analysis. So I'll be starting with US 30. So on US 30, we let me just start from the daily time frame. Now from the daily time frame, you can see that we have a clear upward view. That is the move to the upside, and from this move to the upside, you can clearly see that we have had several touches. Like let me talk something on this part. So you can see that we had a touch there, had a move to that levels, had a pullback to touch this trend line that is here. We have had this movement where there was a touch to this trend line, came to this point of support, moved again, touched this trend line, and then we had a move to the downside, that is this point. And then we have been constantly having an upward trend. So that is what we are having when it comes to the daily time frame. So moving to the hourly time frame. Now from the hourly time frame, we are able to see that currently we are at a point of consolidation. So we have been settling in this point of consolidation for the longest time possible. I'm still waiting for a breakout either to the upside or to the downside, but still I've been capitalizing on the small moves that the market usually make, especially in these areas here. I remember I took a trade from here moving to the downside, also took a trade from here moving to the upside, and it has been in that way. I think for the better part of this the whole of this week, we have been moving just up and down in between this that is this point of resistance and also this point of support. So the market, in short, they have been moving sideways instead of moving up or down. The market has been moving in a constant way or in a point of consolidation. So I'm currently expecting that the markets in that is US 30, that they are going to move from their current market position. So from this point in which they are in now, I'm hoping that they are going to move to this point here before further moving to the upside to these levels here. And if we are going to have a breakout to the upside to create new highs, and then that will be so. So currently I'm in this trade. So moving to the hourly time frame. Now currently I'm in this trade. So you can clearly see that we had a touch here to the downside, had a move to the upside to this level. I thought that it will make the final touch to this point, but it came down to these areas, and before further moving to these levels. And currently, you can see that the market is at this position. I'm currently in this trade. I'm just waiting for the trade to move from this position to this position. I know some of you might be asking where I've got this short position that is here. So let me move to the hourly time frame. So from the last time, so the last when coming to the daily time frame, you can see that we had the final touch in these areas. So let me explain something so that you can be able to understand. So we have already had a touch to these levels here, and as expected, after having these double touches, we had a general move to the downside. But then this move to the downside did not touch this trend line that is here, and then we had a move to the upside. That's why you are able to see that we have not broken any highs. So you can see this is a very strong point of resistance. So before markets break this high here, the market should first of all touch this trend line that is here. That's why you are seeing that the market have been coming to this point of resistance here, and then moving to the downside again, trying their best to create a breakout that is to the downside. That's why you can see that I've got this short position, because I'm expecting that when the markets move from their current market position, that is this point, they're going to move to these levels. And then when they break this trend line that is here to come to this level, then I'm sure of getting into this trade with a sell trade, in which I'll be targeting for the market to touch this trend line here, and automatically they're going to touch this point of support here, and then before moving to the upside, and that is when that the markets are going to create a breakout to these levels and start creating new highs. So I hope you are able to understand that. So I'm currently on this trade, so I'm just risking a total of 50 pips for a total reward of 100 pips. So one thing that I explained to you the last time is that when you are having a small position like this, see, this is a very strong small position. Just imagine I'm just targeting a total of 100 pips. So whenever I'm having a short position, or I'm covering just a short distance or a small amount of pips, the only thing that I can do for me to be able to increase my profit is just to change the lot size. Changing the lot size. So make sure that you change your lot size to a higher lot size. So you can use a lot size of maybe 0.10, 0.20 when it comes to this short position. But for the long position, please use a small lot size like 0.05. That is going to be safe for you. So that being said, I'd like us to move to EURGBP. Now for EURGBP, let me start from the daily time frame. Now you can see now from the daily time frame, we have been having a downward trend, that is. So we have been experiencing a downward trend. You can see that here we had a touch to these levels, and the market moved to these levels here, generally came to this point of support here, and then moved to the upside, made another touch to that trend line that is up there, and then came to touch this trend line that is below here. So we are currently expecting that the markets are going to move toward the upside to touch this point of resistance that is here, and also this trend line that is here, before making any other moves. Excuse. So moving into the hourly time frame now, we are in the 4 hour time frame. Now, in the 4 hour time frame, you can clearly see that we are having an upward trend. You can see here that we had a touch in these levels here, then we had a move to the downside, had a touch to this level, a move to the upside, had another touch to that level. So what we were expecting is that the markets were going, when they came to these levels, I was expecting that the markets were going to break this point of support that was initially a point of resistance in these levels here. So I was expecting that the markets will break this point of support and further move to the downside to touch this trend line, but that was not the case. So the market came to this point of support, moved to the upside, started creating these patterns here. So you can clearly see that pattern. The pattern came to this point where the pattern was broken out by this red candlestick that moved to the downside, and then we had a retest to this point of support. So I'm currently expecting that the markets are going to move to this point here before moving to this point of support, and then later on moving further to the downside to this another point of support, moving to these levels. They might move to this level to touch this trend line that is here before further moving to the downside. So let me move to the hourly time frame so that you can have a clear view. Now moving into the 1 hour time frame, you can see that here this is the red candlestick that broke the pattern, the upward the uptrend pattern, and you can clearly see that it came to this point of support that is here. And when it came to this point of support, you can see that when it came to this point of support, the market moved to the upside here. So it was targeting this trend line, but then we had a further move to the upside here, and then we had a move to the downside. These are the red candlestick here, and you can see that you have got another red candlestick that is at this point. So this is a very strong point of support that is here. So this is a very strong point of support. So I'm expecting that the markets are going to break this point of support and move to these levels that are here to touch this point of support that is below here. And then in future, I'm expecting that the markets, after touching this point of support, the market are going to go for a retest to this point here and then further move to the downside. That is, so we are going to experience a little bit of downward trend when it comes to the hourly time frame. And now to finish up our analysis, so I'd like us to also discuss what is happening when it comes to the Euro USD, the most traded pair in the world. So the USD. So let me start from the daily time frame. Now from the daily time frame, you can clearly see that at this point, initially we had a downward trend. So you can clearly see that we had initially had a downward trend. So this was the trend. So we had a beautiful downward trend that was here. Yep. So we had this downward trend, but then this downward trend settled in for some time. So that is the downward trend I'm talking about there. And then we had a touch after touching this point of trend line that is in the from the weekly time frame. I know you'll be able to see it clearly. So after touching this trend line that is here, the market started moving to the upside, and then we had a breakout to the upside that is to these levels that are here. So the market are currently at this point of resistance here. So, and then I'm expecting that the markets are going to break this point of resistance to come to these levels here, and then they are going to move to further to the upside. I don't know how long it will take for the markets to move from this current market position to this market position that are there. But generally, in this trade, I'll just be risking a total of 500 pips for a total reward of 3,000 pips. So when it comes to a trade like this, where I'm targeting a lot of pips, the only thing that I can do for me to be profitable and also to be safe, it is for me to use a lot size that is significant. It can be a lot size of 0.05. That is fine. Yeah, that can be a safe trade, or a lot size to use, or I can use a lot size of. Okay, for one. Okay, using a lot size of one. Okay, it depends on the amount of capital that you have on your account. So that is it from the daily time frame. So let us come to the 4 hour time frame. So when it comes to the 4 hour time frame, so this was the upward trend that I was talking about that later came in to create a breakout to the upside to these new levels here, came to a retest. I thought that it would come to this point of support, but that did not happen. So the market shoot to the upside, came to this touch this trend line again here. So I'm currently expecting that the markets are going to move to this point of support that is here. So that's why you can see that I've placed in a buy limit. So I'm expecting that the markets are going to come to this position before them creating a breakout to that point of resistance and further moving to the upside. That is uh, so the market at the same time may tend to, since this is a very strong point of resistance, the market may break this point of support and move further to the downside to these new levels that are here for them to further come to the upside. That's why you can see that I've placed in my stop loss a little bit below this point of support just to be safe. And when it comes to the 1 hour time frame, you can clearly see that the markets are ready to move to the downside. So the markets, I'm expecting them to move from this position to this position. If that it does not happen, if it breaks, so it will come to this position and then move to the further to the upside. So that is all that I had for you for today. So do have a great weekend ahead of you. So use the weekend to maybe prepare journals, prepare the charts, do a lot of back testing. Yeah, that is going to be profitable for you. And if you are watching this on YouTube, please do like this video, share it with some of your friends, colleagues, family members that are interested in trading in the forex industry. Also, if you want to join our WhatsApp group, our WhatsApp link is in the description space below this video. If you'd like to join our Telegram channel, the link is in the description space below this video. Do like and follow us on Instagram, on the Twitter, and also on uh, so we have Instagram, we have Twitter, and also do subscribe to this YouTube channel. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You do support this channel. I'm targeting to reach around 300 subscribers by the end of next week. So please do support me. So that is all that I had for you for today, and may the peeps always be with you. Thank you.